Yeah, ready to start. Hi guys, as you see, Simon Shaw's fit to resume his place in the team with 22 on the bench. We've decided to start Dylan Hartley this week with Steve on the bench. As we said last week, it was always an option with those two. Both of them will get starts going forward and also have to play off the bench. Thought Dylan did very well when he came off, and it's not a knock on Tomo, but I thought he just really forced his way in there to deserve this game.
What extra does he bring, Martin?
Well, he said all the time with a lot of selections you get something slightly different. He's been in great form. Missed the summer tour with injury. He's come back with a huge amount of enthusiasm in his play with Northampton, bringing that energy and that ball carrying. His set piece work's getting better all the time as well. He matures as a player. And he's going to be, starts for us leading up in, for the next year, obviously. The more experience he can get, the better.
Are you happy he's got the balance right between his aggression and his discipline? There was a moment that might have been taken further by the All Blacks and wasn't.
Well, it might have been taken further by a disciplinary officer and wasn't. So, he understands he's got to, it's got to be a force for good, not for potentially being penalised and off the field and banned. So, no, we're happy with him. He does bring a lot of confrontational energy, which is what we need.
After a good look at the tapes now, what do you consider an opinion about the performance on Saturday?
It's not changed that much. You can't. Look, you're playing good teams. You don't need to give the All Blacks opportunities. We can't do that again this week against Australia because they're too good. We said in the summer these teams will get something on you because they're very good. We were a little bit disjointed at times, defensively particularly early on, and just gave them easy shots, which they're going to take. And they got, as I said after the game, we were a little bit narrow at times defensively. Leads to slow line speed, which leads to them getting round us and getting go forward a little bit tentative.
Execution, do you think, of it defensively?
It's a little bit of everything. Often in the game it's not one glaring error by one player. It's something happens that affects the next thing, which affects the next thing, and suddenly they're breaking us on first phase. They're getting around us and getting more yards than they should. So all those things are involved around the intensity of the test match, the weight of the tackle, the intensity of it, the speed of it. Our reactions have to be quicker. There's times when we're not reacting quickly enough defensively to get ourselves in the right position. Then you're chasing it. Then guys are maybe getting attracted to breakdowns too quickly, and suddenly there's space where there shouldn't be space. So it's not one single thing or one single person, but a lot of it is fixable pretty quickly, and we have to fix it quick because these guys are very dangerous, as we know. We saw last Saturday, we saw in the summer. In some ways, potentially more dangerous than the All Blacks in their ability to turn, numbers for them attacking wise into breaks and tries. I think Beale's try on Saturday. It's pretty similar to what we conceded in Sydney in the second half, where you think, well, we've got that covered. They get round you, the support's sharp, and suddenly they're running in from 40. So we really need to get those bits sorted out, and they are fixable. A lot of it is just playing together in that speed and intensity again for the first time for a while.
Talking about Saturday, the mood in the camp seems good. There's lots of optimism about, but you need a result.
Well, we need to worry about the performance and to get the result. And if we play, we came back at the end, and if only all the time, you can't make the mistakes we made and be as disjointed as we were at times and expect to win at this level. So we have to take care of that, make it a lot harder for them to get anything on us, and then we'll put ourselves in the game. I thought attack-wise, for a first game, the continuity that we've had and what we're doing and who's there showed, and we were better than we've been in the first game, attack-wise for a while. We created the opportunities, and as we said last week, if we score in 3 tries, you should be winning test matches. 2 will put you in the frame, and 1 you're going to have to defend very, very well. So we had the opportunities to score more, certainly, but if you don't take them, then you're going to lose.
Just ask Graham a question about scrum, Graham. And we always talk about scrums in the other couple of times, I know, but they're strong in Cardiff, but they're going to have Stephen Moore back for this game, I understand. What are your impressions? I mean, The first test in the summer, you had domination but still lost. How's it going to be approached this spring?
How's it going to be approached?
Some people say it's going to be a one-sided, thing, they're going to dominate, but I'm putting it to you that Stephen Moore's coming back, it won't be one-sided at all.
I totally agree with you, it's a good point. We've been here before. How many times we've sat here before England and Australia talking about perceived dominance and we've not delivered? Got a lot of respect for them. It's the party line, but I have. Stephen Moore's a fantastic player. He'll make a big difference to them. But we're very respectful of what they can bring. Wales didn't have it all their own way at the weekend, but we have to be respectful of what they can do, what they've done in the Tri-Nations. Like we did last week, we played against New Zealand last week, we paid them the right respect as well. Just means the detail of our work is going to be spot on, like it was pretty much last week. So we'll approach this game like that, bags of respect.
Martin, you touched on it a moment ago, finally from me, the Aussie backs, are they perhaps the best in the world at the moment?
I don't know, it's a slightly different challenge the way they play, but I think the way they've come together in the last year, 18 months or so, they're very, very dangerous. And we saw that all through our tour in Australia when we played in the midweek side. If you get your numbers wrong, if you get too tight, if you leave a hole, because they'll come close as well, Genny will come close and run at us around the ruck area as well, so you've got to be very sharp. It's not a question of them being one-dimensional, you know where they're going to come, they'll test you out. They play a huge amount of variation, maybe more than the All Blacks in terms of the whole game, the variety that they have. They'll change it. We obviously watched the tape from last week and the Tri-Nations, but you can't say this is what they're going to do because they'll do something a little bit differently this week. They'll look for space in their restarts, they'll look for space when they attack. And they're strong runners. For guys who are maybe not sort of, in terms of height and weight, the biggest guys, they're very, very strong in that area. So we need to be very strong in the tackle. And when we've got the ball, that's going to be obviously a big part of the game for us. Is we need to improve again on what we did last week. There'll be opportunities for us, and we just got to keep working on being better at taking them and seeing them. For our best chance in the first half, we didn't take the right option at the right time. Then we turned the ball over. And if you do that, I think in that phase we went from our best chance to score to them scoring 3 points about 45 seconds later, which is 8-10 point turnaround. So that's what it will come down to. We've got to be very, very smart when they have the ball, and again when we've got to play with real tempo and give our players a chance to make plays. There's guys there that can do good things. We saw that last week, and whoever's in the right time, the right place to take that opportunity, we've got to do it.
Martin, overall, did you see your team grow on Saturday? You saw them grow as a unit on a tour in Australia. In the final analysis, did they grow as a unit?
Yeah, I think you can't replicate the experience. A lot of the guys, their first time against the All Blacks. This particular team is their first time against New Zealand. You can't replicate what they've been through, and not all of it was good. And we've got to be better. I think we didn't do what we said we wanted to do, which was start where we finished ultimately, and that cost us the opportunity to be in the game. It was 10 points at the end. We hadn't given the penalty away for Ricardo to kick off the touchline. It would have been 7 with a chance, but it wasn't. And the good thing I said after the game, I sensed it in the players. I didn't sense oh well, we did okay and that was pretty good, and it was we've not done what we wanted to do there as well as we could do it, and we know we can play better. You can play well against these teams and still lose, but you want to play well and see where that puts you in the mix. And we've got to be consistent. Graham, you talk about the scrum. Every game is a new game. Every scrum is a new challenge. And if we think there's any sort of complacency that we'll get an ascendancy in any area in this game, you'll find yourself second, because there'll be a reaction from them from what happened last week, and we need a reaction as well from what we do.
Graham, how many penalties do you need to concede at the scrum for a yellow card to be produced?
That's a great question. How long's a piece of string? I don't look at it that way. I look at what we can do. We're not the perfect outfit yet in our scrum. We played a test in Perth in the summer, scored 2 penalty tries. The following week, our first putting, they turned us over. I'm just worried about our detail. I can't answer that question. I'm worried about us and what we're doing in that scrum, so we're perfect. So people have to transgress to stop us pushing.
And to be fair to Robbie Williams in Australia this summer, it didn't get to uncontested scrums. But do you find it, in your role, quite frustrating that the international game has not adopted a 23-man squad, almost ruling out the possibility of
Yeah.
contested scrums?
It is frustration. It's frustrating, sorry. The more front rowers, the better. It's someone for me to speak to on a Saturday, isn't it? No, I think that would help the international game, and I'm pretty sure, I'm hopeful that will come in eventually, sooner than later.
Russ? Graham, staying with you first of all, just going back a little bit to the last game, the fact that the front row stood up to New Zealand so well throughout the match and really came out arguably on top in many encounters. What did you make us moving forward from that, plus with Dylan added back into the dynamic?
Yeah, excuse me, we're still young men. There's a lot of young men in there. Cody's 23 and Dylan 24. And you put Courtney Law in the mix as well. Sherry is still developing. He's still not a veteran prop, as I would call it. So we're still learning. They are a good outfit, New Zealand, what I rank as the best in the world, well coached, good detail to what they do. They want to push, they want a good competition. I thought overall we did okay. We've sat down this morning and had a good look at what we didn't do. There's lots of things we didn't do. We're not perfect, we're a long way off that. It's my job to make sure the lads aim for that perfection. Just keep on about the detail.
And Martin, just if we can, Lewis Moody, obviously the blow to the head on the back of obviously the eye injury. Just talk me through how he is in terms of, is he pretty much actually spot on now, or will he obviously be by match day?
Well, it's Tuesday. Yeah, I think he'll be fine to go on Saturday. I mean, we're in a test series now, so he'll be bruised and battered bodies. No, he's okay. I mean, we play New Zealand, you know, it's a physical game. That's what we're in, and that's what you have to get used to a little bit. So that increase in the intensity of everything, physicality, speed, skill, we've got to up our game. So we can do it, we know we can. We've just got to do it a little bit quicker than we did last week.
And just on that note, a couple of the boys after the match were saying, as hard as you practice in training 2 weeks in camp, to actually then hit an international match at Twickenham against someone like New Zealand, it's still that big step up. Having done that and then training hard again, I'll hopefully put everyone in a very good step for the Wallabies.
I agree with you. Well, we said, you know, you can't, you train as fast as you can in tempo. You know, those guys are coming off what they're coming off. Tri-Nations, they're playing on Cole last week. It is what it is, and we need to be able to switch on to it. But that's just where we are. We did everything we could. We talked about it, everything we could to do it. You've actually still got to go out and play and do it. And you know, the thing is, we're disappointed because we should be better at the start. No one's saying, oh, okay, it's an excuse. It's not an excuse. No one cares. You know, we lost a test match at home. That's not good. And we didn't perform as well as we could. If we perform as well as we can, or somewhere near it, and you don't get the result, that's one thing.
And just finally from me, in terms of the Australian team and England, could you almost say that in a way they've both been through stages of evolution, rebuilt a bit with some new players, and maybe hopefully both on the good route?
I think all that, you know, you look who's playing for them now, who wasn't there 2 years ago. It's been able to keep your standards high when you're doing that. We played these guys last year. Everyone said, oh, they're not won many games. Well, they're coming out of the Tri-Nations at a very young side, and they're probably seeing the rewards of that now. So. You know, we are where we are. We've got our best team out there. Some of them are 30 plus, some of them are below 25. It's great that, you know, the more young guys we can have out there. And Graham talked about guys like Dan Cole. I thought last week, you know, the work he did there was tremendous. And just, you know, he's still under 10 caps as a player. It's going to get better. Dylan as well came on and was involved. So these guys are going to improve and improve our team as they get better.
So finally, Martin, on that selection, how difficult the conversations with Dave Atwood, considering what he gave to the team? Yeah,
Dave did well when he came on, but you know, Simon was injured last week, and you know, look where Dave's come from May last year when no one was really talking about him. He's been on tour, he's played, he'll go away and I think play for Gloucester at the weekend potentially. He's just got to keep on improving. You know, there's not. You know, you have to fight and battle your way in to get into this team. And Simon Shaw's still there playing very well as an international veteran player. So Dave's done well, and you know he's got improvements to make as you would do when you are in his situation. But he can be a lot better player, and he can come back in and work with us next week and get himself back in the mix.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.